B2B and B2C model, supply chain. Introduction. In both types of businesses, B2B and B2C, the organizational structure needs to ensure that supplier relationships, supply chain, and supply-based strategies are focused on the organization's strategic goals. Because the supply chain involves changes in numerous functions and organizations, it is important to consider the sensitivities involved with this controversial subject matter. It is possible to say that both B2B and B2C are based on similar supply chains, but they differ in the number of operations and intermediaries determined by the nature of the business. The supply chain is defined as a collection of physical entities such as manufacturing plants, distribution centers, conveyances, retail outlets, people, and information, which are linked through processes such as procurement or logistics to supply goods or services from source through consumption. Main body. The main difference between B2B and B2C is that B2B has one supply chain, supplier to the company, while B2C has two supply chains, supplier to the company and the company to the consumer. In this case, in the B2C model, at each stage of a supply chain, buyers' bargaining power strongly influences the prices charged and the industry structure. In the supply chain for the computer industry, for example, the buyers include consumers, wholesalers, and supermarket chains. The amount of power that each buyer exerts can differ substantially. These specific features have not been taken into account as well. The research does not include limitations of the hypothesis connected with the high cost of software, solutions that are very different from buy-side and sell-side perspectives, and security of data that both sides cannot guarantee. In the B2C model, distribution is more extensive than in B2B. For instance, Wal-Mart is one of the best examples of an extensive supply chain. Goods or services start out as raw materials and move through the company's logistics and production system until they reach customers. To manage the supply chain, a company tries to eliminate delays and cut the number of resources along the way. This can be accomplished by streamlining the company's internal operations or by reducing inventory costs by asking suppliers to put off delivery of goods and their payments until the moment they are needed. Information systems make efficient supply chain management possible by integrating demand planning, forecasting, materials requisition, order processing, inventory allocation, order fulfillment, transportation services, receiving, invoicing, and payment. In the B2C model, companies pay special attention to the planning process and on-time delivery. The plan should have a shorter time horizon, perhaps 1 year, and the relationship should be collaborative and trustworthy. The example of Wal-Mart shows that B2C has more channels through which a product must flow. In the B2B model, there are fewer channels of product flows. The case of Dell's B2B operations vividly portrays that fewer channels allow the company to introduce a data exchange system and support its daily operations. This has resulted in increased production efficiency because suppliers can more accurately determine what Dell needs daily to fill orders. Because of this internet-based supply chain management system, Dell is able to achieve a 4-hour production cycle time. It notifies its suppliers about what components are needed, and they are delivered in an hour and a half. From both a free trade and a multinational perspective, such strategic initiatives facilitated by IT as B2B, supply chain management, and e-commerce in general, B2C, through the use of the internet have greatly enhanced both the ability to acquire cost-effective productive inputs, supply side, and expanded the consumer base on the demand side. Access to a wide supply base that delivers products at an acceptable level of quality, on time, and in the right quantities goes a long way towards achieving a retailer's product management objectives and stocking products from sources of supply that have particular meaningfulness for the final consumer in terms of brand recognition or product expertise. In the B2C model, branding and marketing play a crucial role compared to the B2B model. In the B2C model, core elements and core activities are key to customer value. More important, they drive other elements and activities in the business. A context activity for Ask Jeeves is the design of different interface menus to meet particular customer needs. As new devices emerge and become part of the critical backbone for .com operations, every company will need to develop a strategy for the .com world. Ultimately, the business strategy will be a .com strategy. The key to this idea of interconnectivity between companies lies in the availability of vast network technology that enables separate entities to freely communicate vital information to enhance the process of providing goods and services to customers. This empowers B2C companies to supply products without having to carry significant inventories. Supply chain management systems can create value by lowering inventory costs and delivering the product or service more rapidly to the customer. B2C has a great number of smaller channels compared with B2B. Supply chain management systems can create value by lowering inventory costs and delivering the product or service more rapidly to the customer. Supply chain management can be used to create efficient customer response systems that respond to customer demands more efficiently. The convenience and ease of using these information systems raise switching costs, the cost of switching from one product to a competing product, discouraging customers from going to competitors. For instance, Amazon.com's initial strategy was to create two distinct customer bases, the business-to-customer sector, B2C, and the business-to-business, B2B, sector. The former would concentrate on selling books to consumers, book buyers. The latter included publishers and resellers. To add value to the latter customer group, Amazon.com set up specialist groups within the organization to cater to these markets. Amazon Advantage focused on publishers, whereas Amazon Associates concentrated on book resellers. In both business models, B2B and B2C, the more effective supply chain integration, induced by effective practices, will create new responsibilities for functional experts. Supply chain integration depends on exchanges of data and technical capabilities to promote mutual goals between a buyer and seller. Conclusion. In sum, technological innovations have changed supply chains and business relations. The main difference between B2B and B2C models is the number of intermediaries and channels in their chains. Only with such exchanges can buyers and sellers work together to improve the supply chain as a whole and thereby improve the performance and cost levels that the company and its suppliers experience together.